Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the Women's Coffee Club. And happy holidays, you all!
Happy holidays.
Happy
Can't believe
holiday.
it's almost Christmas. We created this club to provide a safe space for women to share and inspire each other. So excited and glad to see all of you here. And this morning we have Deborah, who will be doing. Excuse me, sorry about that, my throat. Um, Doing mini psychic readings. So it's going to be fun and interactive. You can ask any questions you want regarding uh, people or pets as long as they're still alive, no disease. So
Yeah.
is that right, Deborah? Um,
Yes.
so with that, Deborah, if you don't mind, tell us a little bit about your background, and then we'll just go ahead and go around the room and everybody get to ask a question. And then once we're done with that, if we have more time, we can go around again. So with
Okay.
that, Deborah, go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, many years ago, I started reading about metaphysical books, reading metaphysical books, um, and that kind of changed my views on things. And eventually, years later, I uh, did meditation, and about a year later, my abilities surfaced. And about 6 months later, after that, I started doing professional readings. I do the psychic work, mediumship work, and I also channel, which is getting uh, long messages from various sources telepathically. And I have that on my website to read. They're really long messages for people, but they're very profound and powerful, and they're still relevant. Um, the psychic work uh, is basically just general information given on any subject. And then the mediumship is connecting with um, someone who has passed on, or it could be your guide, your spiritual guide. Um, and I also can get information about pets um, that have passed on. But in this session, I'm just going to do those that are alive. Um, it's I would prefer private readings to do the mediumship work. But anyway, I've been doing it for about 34 years now. And when I started, it was just not real acceptable. And but now it's getting more and more acceptable, and more and more people are showing their abilities and doing this kind of work. And my intention has always been to help the person and to assist them in whatever area they have a question about or concern about. So that's, I get information. I can get visions. I will see um, past life, or if you want to call them past lives, other lives, past or future. I can see the scene. There can be a situation where in your present life where you may have difficulty with someone, and most likely you've had another life with them where the problem actually started. So I will know the dynamics of that. Also, the information can come in different ways. Can be symbols, can be music. There might be a message in a line of a song that's important to you. Just a variety of things. Um, so I've had unusual experiences since since I got into all this, and I do see spirits at times, and um, they're a bit rude. They invade my bedroom. They wake me up, and so I have to set boundaries for that. And if anybody experiences anything like that, be sure and set boundaries, because they don't need to do that. So,
Okay, Deborah,
so,
are you ready for questions now?
yeah, sure.
Okay, Mo, do you want to start?
Oh, yes, that'd be great.
Hi.
Okay, well, Deborah, did you say wait?
What?
I thought you said wait. I was gonna say, oh wait.
Oh, you want to wait?
No. I thought you said wait. Sorry.
No, I'm ready.
No,
Okay.
she's ready.
I
She just, yeah.
Okay, so from a very young child, like my father passed away when I was 2, and I've been so afraid of seeing spirits. You know, I had 5 older brothers and sisters that scared the bejeebies out of me. So I feel like, and I was very fearful. And only in the past 4 years have I been kind of releasing this fear, but I still feel it's blocking aspects of my life, money, love, that kind of thing. So my question is, am I subconsciously, do you know if I'm subconsciously blocking and is there money and love in my future?
Okay.
That's a good question.
It is. Any blockages as far as money is concerned would be beliefs that you have about money. Something that could have been taught by your parents, or you would hear things, that your parents were discussing about money. You just have to be open to receiving it. You have to love it. But you really have to look at the beliefs that you have concerning money. And then you have to discard it, and you have to create a new belief about money.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Does that help a little bit there?
Yeah.
I
know I have an unhealthy view of money. My mom's great. You never discuss how much you make. You never, it was very garish to discuss how much you made. And I don't want a lot of material things. I have no need for that. I never felt that. And so I don't have this attachment to money, although I want money so I can do bigger and better things. So there's something going on that's in my head.
Yeah, you have to eliminate anything that your mother may have said about the money situation, finances.
Mm-hmm.
Just you'd have to really kind of dissect and know what the beliefs are about that,
Mm-hmm.
and then change it. But also you have to love the money. You have to be open and receptive to it.
Yeah.
Because if you aren't receptive, you're not going to receive it. Does that make a little sense there?
Yeah. That's good.
Let's see.
She also asked about the love life.
Yeah, this moment.
I know I have a strong energy, I've been told. So I think it can work against me as well.
Oh, not necessarily. Let's see. There is someone, I would say in about 6 months, could be sooner, could be a little later. This person is dark-haired, is passionate,
Mm-hmm.
has a strong energy as well. So not someone who can be dominated at all.
Mm-hmm.
Not someone who is scared of a strong woman. You're open to it. You haven't closed off. your heart's open. So this person is coming in, but there needs to be just a few little changes emotionally that you need to make. And this concerns your past, your relative to your dad. Need to resolve some of the issues that you may know about, just to let go of the past, because all you have is the present time.
Right.
And so if you kind of move through all that, then you can be more welcoming for this person to come into your life. Okay.
Yeah.
So this person is seems to be pretty well established as far as a business. I do not feel is near you yet.
Okay.
Might be. I think he's traveling. So, but when the time comes, you will meet. And it's always, it's like a meant to be kind of thing.
Oh yeah. Okay, it's gonna get me teary-eyed.
Is that making sense, Mo?
It does. I have this feeling. Exactly what she said. This is the feeling I have, and I haven't thought of this in years since I got divorced. And just recently, I've been having just exactly what Debra's saying. That.
Oh,
So that's
wonderful.
Yeah. Awesome.
That's awesome.
Thank you for the confirmation. Thank you.
Wow. Yes. I see all the hands up here. Sandra is next.
Okay.
Hi, Deborah. Thanks.
Hi, Sandra.
Thanks, Rini.
How are you?
I'm not too bad. I'm not too bad. I keep puzzling myself, and maybe you've got a little thing that just unlocks that.
Okay.
I give my who I am and what I am. Coach Sandra, compassionate queen of straight talk, helping you learn to speak up, speak out, and find your voice. And that hits home, and then I take it away and say, but sometimes I'm too strong. So if you need time out, that's one example of where I come on, do what I'm supposed to do, and then I take away that energy. And I'm not sure what that play is that I'm causing. I don't know if that makes sense.
I'm not quite certain what you mean. Okay, you have the energy.
I make my offer, if you will.
Okay.
To, when you work with me, it's the straight talk. There's no babysitting here.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's what they expect and what they're looking for. And then even before we get through into going further, I say, however, I am strong. So if it's too much for you, so people have commented, but Sandra, you came on so great there, and then you took it away somehow. Excused yourself.
She's holding back.
You have a strong response, but then you kind of become gentle. Is that what you mean? Or
yeah, I let them off. I let them off the hook, really, because what they're expecting is the strength, and then I explain myself away, and it seems to be like, here we go, and then, but be cautious. There's something happening.
Okay.
If you need to come back to it later, that's okay, or maybe it's not inappropriate.
Give me a minute.
Okay.
It's actually kind of judging. You are judging at that moment the expectation, the reaction. It all happens very quickly, and then you withdraw, and then you're just like minimizing things, or in a sense discounting what you just said. And so you need not to do that. It's you've got to have the confidence in what you are saying to that person. Just say what you feel to be the truth for that person, and not think about how they're going to react or what you just said to be judged, because what you have to say is worthwhile, and you've got to feel good about what you're telling the other person, you know, whether it's strong, it comes on strong or not. You don't need to pull back unless you want to be a little more sensitive about things. You can be. Sometimes you have to pick up on the vibes of the other person. You know what I mean? And not think about how they think you should be. You know, that's too many things going on there. And so just come from the point, come from your heart, say what you feel is necessary. If it comes off maybe a little too strong for some people, maybe you could tone it down a little bit. You know, you don't have to come off that way all the time. It's just a matter, because as far as I'm concerned, in my readings, I have to kind of sense that, you know, how the person's reacting, or their state of mind emotionally and all that, all very quickly. So I don't, you know, so they're not hurt by what has been said, you know, or feeling like, oh, you know, they can't say a whole lot, or, you know what I mean by that. So
I think I'm not too bad on that. I think you nailed it a little bit earlier, that I need to shut up, because I think I approach people sensitively. But if they're really not ready for me, then again, that helps me not take them on as a client.
Sometimes people, you have to be very blunt with them, direct, because that's how they hear it. That's how they receive it. But then there are others who are a little more sensitive about things, and you have to be careful in what you say. But it's just a matter of how you can sense the other person,
Okay.
you know. Does that help a little bit?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. It was a bit of an odd question, I think, for you, but that nails me down.
Thank you.
Thanks, Debra.
Good.
Thank you. I Tamara has to leave a little bit early today, so she wanted to make sure that she gets her question in. So, Edith, I see your hands up first. Do you mind that I let Tamara in so that she could? Are you okay with time?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead, Tamara.
Thank you, Edith and Jane, for letting me cut in.
There you are. Hi.
So I have a question about my daughter. She's working in this place that has a spirit that's very vocal, very loud, and other people have heard it, and everybody's scared of it. And my daughter just recently, she said that it really scared her. And my family comes from, like, my grandma used to talk to spirits all the time. Like, they would come in the doors and she'd say, well, come on in, let's have a discussion, you know. We've got this whole, you know, history, but she never really taught us how to set boundaries with them. So you were talking about setting those boundaries earlier. And I'm kind of wondering if the spirit is not in her life for this moment for a purpose, if you can touch on those.
Okay, this is in her home?
And the place that she works at a hotel.
Oh, where she works. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. And what's your daughter's name? First name?
C-I-A-R-A.
Ciarna?
C-I-A-R-A. I think my internet's kind of low.
Ciarna. Okay. Well, let me ask you this. Have the spirit, it's been vocal, has it been saying negative things or dark things or scary things?
She did not say that it was saying anything negative, but
Okay.
it's like just making a lot of ruckus. The other day, she was inside where her desk is, and he was outside. She thinks it's a he. um, making a lot of noise, and she got scared and ran around the back to see who was there because she thought it was a real human, and there was nobody there, so she knows it was him.
Uh-huh. Okay. All right.
And there's a upstairs right above where her desk is a like a storeroom, and
Mhm.
it's full of stuff, and he knocks things over all the time to make noise on the floor. I guess that's what she says.
Okay. But other people hear this, not just her. Okay.
Right,
All
right. And
right.
she told him the other day to go away because it scared her so much.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Well, it was a disgruntled worker, used to work there and passed on and is still earthbound. And it's a male, and he was like not even noticed a lot of the time when he worked there. It's like he didn't exist almost. And he felt that there were some things that were not fair that he experienced. And he held a lot of anger inside, didn't express it, but he's expressing it now. He wants to be heard. Um, and he's making all this noise and making sure that people do hear him. And what you can do, sometimes their spirits do not want to leave, but you have to be firm about it. And you have to be confident and not have fear in telling them to leave. They don't belong here. They need to go to the light to progress. They are no longer in human form. So as a spirit, they need to go to the light, to go where love is, and to progress. So one has to be quite firm in telling them to go away, to leave, all those things I said. You have to have it with strength and power, conviction. You have to mean what you say. And that's what I would tell her to do. Now, it may take more than one time, and then there are some that if they're really a negative spirit, a darker spirit, it may be very difficult to get them to leave at all. Some, I don't understand spirits sometimes. Some are kind of lost, and some are so attached to the earth realm, to a place, to a person or object that they just stay for a long while. I don't know why other spirits don't help them. It almost seems like a human has to, tell them, talk to them, communicate with them. But, she could try, or you could try as a group, the workers, if they feel safer together as a group, is one could speak out, but that group would be the support in getting that spirit to leave.
Okay.
But he was very unhappy in his work. He just didn't feel noticed, and now he's making all this noise to get people's attention because he wants them to know he's there, that he exists. I don't know his name or anything. I just know that he used to work there in that area.
Okay. And could this be teaching her something in the moment?
Um, Well, she could develop, let's see. Sometimes, well, if you have the ability to communicate, you can communicate with a spirit and find out things about the spirit or what they want or desire, that kind of thing. But if you do not have that ability, all you can do is communicate, just tell it to go, to leave. It'd be a one-sided conversation unless you have the ability to telepathically communicate. It just, she has, well, I can understand being fearful, but the spirit, he's just making noise. He's not going to hurt anybody. It's not his intention. He just making a ruckus because he was never seen before. He was kind of a quiet man and unassuming and just I think he may have had a kind of a menial job, and so people didn't really acknowledge him. And so that hurt him, but it also angered him. And now his anger is coming out. Your daughter, she doesn't really need to fear spirits. It's just, it can be a bit unnerving to see one or to experience some of the noise that they make. But you can, if you can calm yourself down and get a sense of, is this spirit of light or is it of dark? And then you can send that, what you feel is negative or dark, away. But sometimes those in spirit that are of light, sometimes they're your guide. They want to communicate. They will do things to, like, knock things over or make a noise to try to get your attention so they could talk to you or communicate with you or make you aware that they want to. But not everybody has that ability yet to communicate. So it kind of makes it difficult to get anywhere with that. You kind of
I'll
just
talk to
having
her.
an experience.
Thank you so much.
Thank
That
you.
was good. That was good. Thank you. Edith, go ahead.
Thank you. So I just like to know about my finances. So when are they going to turn around and bring the prosperity that I so want?
I want that one too.
Financially, you should be doing well this year. There is you have to look at your attitude about money, your belief about money, and then you change what doesn't work, what doesn't help, what isn't true about money. And then you have to really desire it, want it, and be open to receiving it. It's like love money. It's like anything else. You have to love it or like it a lot. Not feel like, oh, I've got to have it, I've got to need it. You just need to really look at how you think about money, and then change what is necessary so you draw it to you. But you could also do visualization technique, which is you see your future self in receiving all this money that you want. And you have a specific amount that you do want to have, something that is you're comfortable with, that you feel is reasonable for that time, for that moment. You have that in mind, you visualize it, and you see yourself having it. You already have it. And then having the emotion with that. How would you feel having all this money? And that's what you would do repetitively to create it for yourself, to have it manifest. Specific amount, the feeling, excitement, whatever it is you have, you would think you would have, having all that money, and eliminating beliefs that don't work, that don't help, that aren't true about money. It could be things from, as I told another person about the past, influences from parents or siblings about money or society. So you want to change those because we all are deserving of whatever we desire in life. So it's just not feeling, not having lack mentality. You've got to see yourself with money, act like you're a rich person, if you know what I mean. It's just those kinds of things. It's like, look at those people that are very successful, or see how people think that are wealthy, that are financially in a good place. So there may just be some assessing your mind, your thoughts, your beliefs about it, because you can't think one way and then change it and go back and forth. It's got to be pretty well direct in one direction. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Kind of.
Hello? Edit?
Kind of.
Kind of? Okay, what
Yeah.
are you not clear about?
I just want to know when it's turning around.
Well, it turns around when you make those changes within yourself.
Thank you.
You have to do some things that are different. You cannot think the same way and have a different outcome. You have to make changes and have a new outlook, new attitude, new thoughts about money, about finances, in order to have it change for you.
Thank you, Debra.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you. Jane, you're next.
Debra, I'm Jane, and
Hi.
hi, Debra. I'm an astrologer, and I've been studying astrology my whole life, my whole even pre-adult
Hold
life.
on just a moment. Just a moment.
Sure.
I can't hardly hear you, so I'm going to put my earbuds in.
Okay.
Yeah, Jane, we can't hear you well.
Is it? Oh, really? Okay. All right. Yeah, I will. Is this better?
It's
If
better.
I speak up? Okay.
Can you speak?
Yes, Debra, I
Okay.
can.
Okay.
I'm Jane, and
Hi.
I'm an astrologer, Debra. I've been
Okay.
studying it for many years, and I am going in some new directions with my astrology business, doing groups as well as individuals. So I'm anticipating 2025 being a year of real growth for me, additional growth from where I'm at. And I'm wondering what you might see for my path for 2025.
Okay. Well, I'm feeling that your business will pick up more towards the middle of the year. Um, you're saying that you want to do individuals, but also groups. Is that what you
Yes.
said?
Yes, that's
Groups.
right.
Okay. All right. How would you go about doing that for groups?
Well, what I do in the past is I would call myself a team builder using astrology to help small to medium-sized businesses grow, but grow in shedding light on their birth charts as individuals, bringing together, showing the commonalities in a person's chart with another, seeing where the natural joining together takes place, but also having fun with sort of the bumps, warts, and bruises of a person's chart, because we can laugh at ourselves, and it's apparent in our birth chart what those are, what are those obstacles, and oftentimes they're very silly. We don't get out of our own way, and so, like, for instance, when's your birthday, Deborah?
Oh, it was yesterday, December 18th. Yeah.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday,
How about
Debra.
that?
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Oh, happy birthday. So
Thank you.
are you a typical only tell the truth and nothing but the truth Sagittarian?
I'm pretty close. Pretty close. Yeah.
Yeah. That Sagittarian vibration is so strong in I'm sorry, I just tell it like it is. And done with a lot of zest.
Well, I'm also, I try to be sensitive about things, so not just be blunt. And sometimes it just depends on the person. But anyway, let me get back to you
Sure.
and what
Sure.
you want. Um, this would be very helpful to many businesses. I would do the advertising, marketing, whatever is needed to promote that. And also, you will get business from word of mouth because
Yes.
it will be very impressive to those in business that they will speak to others about you and what you do. Also, feel that you're going to write a book. And I don't know that you have thought about that or not, but I feel that you're going to. So the beginnings of that to start, I would say, would be in the fall of this coming year. And it'll be a unique kind of astrology book that I feel, and that would be quite helpful to others who want to utilize it in their business or even personally, you know.
Beautiful. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Let me see if there's anything else. You make it very comfortable and easy for people to work with you, very personable, and that's really important in your communication with others. But it's a natural thing for you, so it makes it very easy for people to work with you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
That's awesome. Thank you. And you're next, but before you say anything, Sandy, I see you're back, so I'm gonna have you just get ready after Anne. I'm gonna call you to ask your question.
Okay.
So, Okay, go ahead, Anne.
Hi, Deborah. Thanks for doing this for us today.
Sure.
I'm and happy belated birthday as well. That's fun, exciting. My question is my direction for my business in 2025.
Your direction.
Yeah,
Are you in business right now and you're asking where it's going?
correct.
Is
Yes.
that what you mean? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. This is something that's not really established. Is that correct? Or is it?
I'm in the process of establishing it more and more as I, learn and grow through the process of owning a business, being an entrepreneur.
Okay. So you're starting out. Is that what this is kind of a new business?
No, not really, but I'm more actively working it now than I had been just because of life things that were happening in my life.
Okay.
Now I'm more focused and I'm more, in that zone, if you will, to do that.
Okay. Right. Um, I mean, you seem to be very, very concentrated on this business, and it seems to be moving, but moving a little slowly as far as you're concerned. It just there's something I think within you that's kind of blocking it a little bit. You need to have more and more confidence about yourself and about. Are you still there?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Have more confidence about yourself and about the business and where you want it to go, what you want to do with it. All the small details are important about the business. I think within a couple of years that you'll find it to be more successful. Just be more, you're hands on. Let's see. What do you know some of the things that you want to do with it? Hello?
Yeah, hi. Well, I want to build it. I want to serve more clients. But I feel like I struggle with getting out there. I'm networking and I'm doing all of those things, but it's a struggle, it feels like, for me to, kind of, I don't want to say really find the right clients, but sort of, right? Like I help people with anxiety and stress and trauma. I do somatic um,
Breath work?
no, somatic work, which is of the body, using somatic tools to help people to get out of tightness and tension and stress or trauma, and that are, things that are like locked up in their bodies.
Okay. Let's see. Well, the marketing and advertising is important to do with that. Making connections, possibly doing it a different way. I don't know if you can work with the hospitals or the medical field in possibly working with them assisting. I don't know how open the medical field would be, but definitely they would have NOAA patients. It's a possibility that you could get more clients that way. You have to, again, the visualization technique of seeing the end result or a result is seeing yourself working with people. You visualize that. You see yourself busy. It's almost like a movie. It's a scene by scene thing where you do it repetitively. So you're creating this for yourself. So you manifest it all. It's not wishing and hoping. That doesn't work. Doesn't work at all. You can't hope that it's going to change. You have to do things that are different than what you've done before, to have a different outcome. And so if you visualize yourself working with the client, doing whatever it is that you do, that could be part of the scene, and you can keep adding to that movie in order to create it. But you've got to have the feeling. This is the key thing in manifestation. Any manifestation, whether it's money or clients or material things, whatever it is you've got to have the feeling. And it's either, like excitement or gratitude, happiness, whatever it is, it has to be connected to the vision. Does that make sense?
Yes, yeah.
Okay. You cannot keep this kind of low-key level of feeling, or you have to be more enthusiastic, more excited about your work, or the business, whatever it is, in order to manifest more. It requires being different, thinking differently, believing differently. And if you think there's a block, you really have to look within to see the connection between, finances and your thinking, or deserving. Because a lot of people don't feel they deserve. Their self-worth isn't optimal. So, it's some of those things that one has to look at within themselves and make the change. That's really important to do. It can't be the same way and expect something to be different, to be better. It's all within. And I tell this to everybody, it's an inside job. You have to do the inner work, especially if there's a block to whatever you're wanting.
Yeah.
Do you have other questions about the business?
Yeah, I guess I had one question about, I really have kind of been thinking about this for years, about doing like a community, having a community of people that come together, and we do a short physical practice, whether we're seated or standing, and then just have a few moments to kind of share, how we're feeling and how we're doing. I kind of do that now with some of my practices now, and people just really love it because it's like a safe place to come and move and say, hey, I'm having a great day, or I'm not having a great day, and this is why, and just kind of get things off their chest, just so like a community for people to be together for like an hour, and I was just curious if that would be like a good place for me to go or put some attention to it.
It would be. Certainly, I think there are ones that want to do it privately, but there would be others who would like that kind of a group atmosphere of having that support. So you could have both. in doing that work. Just be clear in your plan about it. Have a detailed plan, and again, visualize it repetitively, seeing yourself doing the work with a lot of people or whatever small group, and seeing the effects of your work, on their faces or their, I don't know, you can get really detailed into this kind of a movie thing, but you can actually see their reaction. And that certainly helps in creating this for yourself. But it's just feeling this is absolutely what you want to do. That's important as well. Not something that, oh, that would be okay to do. No, you have to really want to do it, and have the energy and love for it, and doing service for others.
Okay.
So the feelings are really important in whatever a person wants to manifest, whatever it is. And it's not falling back on I don't have this, I don't have that. The lack mentality you really want to avoid, no matter what, in whatever business or whatever personal desire.
Okay, that makes sense. Great. Okay, great. Thank you. I appreciate your help and your support.
You're welcome.
Thank you. I just want to say that this is 7:56. So is it okay? We're going to go a little bit over.
That's fine.
Deborah, if you're okay with it, and if any of you need to leave, feel free to do so because it'll be 8 o'clock soon here. Next week, Lachelle will be presenting about the reflection, looking back to 2024, what you've achieved and all the accomplishment, and then looking ahead and what you have learned and how you apply it for the following year. It'll be a 90-minute session next week. Lachelle will be doing that. In the meantime, we're going to continue with this to make sure everyone get to ask a question. I see Kathleen there, looking forward to your question. But Edith has her hands up. So Deborah, if you're okay to go a little bit over.
Oh, that's fine. I have plenty of time.
Okay. So we'll continue going with this. If anyone need to leave, feel free to do so. So Edith, go ahead.
Thank you so much. If I may, because I already had my turn, but something occurred to me, Deborah. About 4 years ago, there was this group movement sort of that promised huge financial prosperity to those who partook in it, and it's yet to be realized. So I wondered if you have any insights on that. Is that ever going to be realized, or what might be going on with it?
Well, it all stems down to everyone's relationship to money. Again, it's all inner work that one has to do. It's changing the thoughts and beliefs that don't work, that don't help, that's not true. And everyone has some opinion or belief about money and whether they deserve it or not. So deserving, whether someone feels they're deserving of a great deal of money, they have to look within and really know, is that the truth? So everything is an inside job, meaning, as I said before, you have to look at your beliefs, and everybody connected with this has to do the same. And it seems that there is work that needs to be done with everybody involved. It's not, they're not at the level or at the point of accepting or believing really that they deserve a tremendous amount of money. So, I would say it is not going to happen at this time, not presently, because it requires each individual to do that work on themselves. They have to change their attitude, get rid of the paradigms, the old paradigms of, beliefs that, as I said, aren't true or don't work or don't help. And as long as they hold on to that, there's going to be that block. That will be the block to having finance. It's really important to really assess your thoughts, and a lot of things are subconscious, but what you can look at is the results in your life, no matter where it is, if it's finances or friends, relationships, love life. You have to look at the results. That's the clue to why one is not manifesting more in one's life. And then you have to look at, okay, how do I believe about myself? Do I need to change perceptions about me? Definitely have to change perceptions about money, and everything else connected to that. Does that make sense?
No, because it's not at all where I was going. This was or is, I don't know. This was something that was operated by people, like a couple of people, and it was always like, oh, this is going to bring so much prosperity for all who are involved. And this is yet to be realized for many that were involved, so that's what I was wondering about, if it is even ever going to be, or those people who were on, like operating this, they just sort of like kept it all to themselves.
It really has to do with the people involved, everybody that's involved. And as I said, everything that I stated, it has to do with the thinking, the believing.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't have to do with the operation. It has to do with the people's thoughts and beliefs. And that's what needs to be changed in order to have money.
So Deborah, you're saying that this is Pat she may not realize this for now because it involves a lot of people, and everyone that's involved with this project need to be on the same page, need to be in sync and with their beliefs and their effort and everything. So it's not a one person job.
Right. Exactly.
Thank you, Deborah. Thanks again.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you, Deborah. So Kathleen, you're next.
Hi, everybody. Hi, Deborah. I've been watching your twirling Christmas tree this whole time and thinking what a ball my cats would have with that.
Yeah.
So I don't even know where to begin. My life is one big question mark right now. Everything is up in the air. Where I'm going to live, if I'm going to find a job, or if I'm going to create my own business, if I'm going to find a partner, where will that be? I mean, literally never in my life has it been so undetermined and up in the air. So I'm just wondering if you have any glimpses on any of it, involving and I've been having a lot of health issues recently. So it could be in the area of health, it could be in the area of wealth, it could be in the area of where I'm going to live. any glimpses you might get.
Have I talked to you before, Kathleen?
Yes.
I talked to you the first time. Okay.
That's when I was setting off on my trip, and I asked about relationship, but that never came to pass. I never met anybody when I was out west.
Okay. Okay. Let's see. I don't think you stayed there long enough for, for one thing, but you have all this other stuff going on. Let's see. Well, you cannot wait for something to happen. You've got to make a plan, and you've got to start with what's the most important to you. Okay. Let's see. So you have to prioritize what it is that you want to do first or want to address first. And the health, your energy, it's very, very low, obviously. And you need to do some things, I would say, alternatively speaking, alternative to medicine.
Yeah, I've always been on that path.
Okay.
And
So you need to do more about that. Let's see. You have to be very decisive where you want to live, what area you want to live. Now, the West is still a good option for you. And you did not spend enough time there. It wasn't the right time of meeting that person. There's some things that you need to address and to change within yourself first before meeting that person. Let's see. You have to be aware of your thoughts. You have to monitor your thoughts of what's negative, what's not, and try to think more positively, more optimistically speaking. Do not let anything set you back. Let's see. Really feel that the West, Western state is better for you. And excuse me. And as far as the environment as well, is better for you. Is there something specific that you want to ask about?
Well, I guess if I had to choose something, do you see me finding, so my choice is between finding a remote job online or starting up my own business. And I'm not.
What do you feel more excited about? That's what, the feeling you would have. What do you feel about it? It's important to have the feeling.
Right, of course. Yeah, I don't know. It would depend on the job, obviously.
Well, what about the business?
Yeah, I'm working on figuring all that out, and I plan to do that. I'm going down to North Carolina to spend some time at my son's and get everything in order. I've ruled out the West Coast because it's too expensive. I just can't right now afford it. If something changes for me financially and I was able to, then maybe. Right now I'm considering Portugal, Spain, or Italy. So those are my options. So in order to do that, I'd either have to have my own business or work from home. So I'm just going to do a lot of journaling and figuring it out when I get to my sons.
Okay.
I wish I could be more specific. It's just everything so up in the air.
Yeah, I'm not feeling that a choice to move out of the country will take place, at least not anytime soon. I don't feel that's going to be a place where you live. Let's see. I feel you have skills that you can utilize, but I don't think you're thinking highly of them. And so that's something to look at, your abilities. What can I do with my skills? Let's see. But first of all, you've got to focus first on your health. Okay.
Right.
Focus more on that. What's specific? What's the specific issue?
I have chronic Lyme disease, and I also long haulers, COVID. So I'm just having a flare right now. It happens every now and then.
Okay, yeah, the Lyme disease, from what I know, is not. I don't know of anybody who's been cured of it, and I know it has great effects on the body.
Yeah.
All I can say is that I would just pursue more of the alternative.
That's what I'm doing.
Supplements, essential oils. You could try some of those.
I do. Yeah. I've been doing this for decades. So, but I am looking for a naturopathic or functional medicine doctor.
Mm-hmm. That might help a great deal.
Yeah.
Let me see. The Western, I wasn't thinking of the coast. I was thinking a Western state, a Northwestern state, but not on the coast. And that's for basically the environment, a more cleaner air.
Right.
That's really important to you for your body. So you have to choose the state that has the cleanest air, if you can find that out. That's important. And then you just got to get your health more together, better, so you have energy to do work.
Right.
I think work is secondary to your health at this point.
Right.
But definitely a Western state that has a good environment, clean environment, and less expensive, of course. But it's making a plan. First things first, what's the most important thing to focus on?
Sure.
And that would be, to me, your health.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
And smile. That helps your body when you smile. Look for the things that bring you joy. don't think about all the things that are negative or unhappy or sad, is find the joy in life.
I do, believe me. Yeah, my energy super low today.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you so much. This
you.
is yeah.
Is
Thank
that
you.
everybody or?
Yeah, Kathleen, are you good? I know
Yes.
that she can't solve all your problems,
No.
but we all have our challenges here. But this has been amazing. So Kathleen, are you good, or you have another question?
No, I'm good.
Edit, are you good?
Yeah.
Are you
I
good?
actually have something that I like to ask, but Rini, you haven't gone yet. Would you like to ask something?
No, go ahead.
No? Okay.
No.
Well, my question is sort of in a follow-up for all of us who were here back in August. I think you did this for us last time, Debra.
It was
Was
September.
it August? It was September?
Yes.
So I just wanted to sort of know whatever you were predicting to us then, has it come through for anyone? Because it hasn't for me. So I
What was
just
yours?
wondered.
What was your question?
Well, I started out a business endeavor and then it was like very fresh. And I asked how this is going to, work out for me. And I was advised that it's going to be very, very good. A lot of people will be very responsive to it. And it's like the end of the year and it's not good at all. So that's what I was just wondering, if has any of these predictions have come true for anybody, who were sort of predicted back then, the last time when we were here. Yeah.
I don't know if anybody that was predicted then. I think you're probably the only person still remaining. There were a few earlier that were here that were then Jane and a few
Mhm.
others. But
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. Kathleen, were you in September or Mo? I don't.
Yeah, I was. And I said when I was speaking to Deborah that it didn't, and she wasn't the only one. And I was the one that mentioned that another psychic had told me that I was going to meet someone, my soulmate in the area of Wyoming and Montana, that southwest corner.
Mhm.
And so she was the second psychic to say yes, that I would on this trip. And I didn't meet anybody.
Mhm.
Well, I'm sorry about that.
That's not your fault.
But it doesn't have to do with, when it has to do with the future, it's a possibility. It's not absolute unless there, it happens if you don't change.
Yeah.
And also it's a timing thing as well. I mean, if you could very well meet someone again in the Western state. You just didn't have enough time,
Right.
Kathleen. And Edith, I've told you that's what I saw at that point in time. That's what I assessed it would be good, but something is within the person that blocks it. And that's not something I can change. It's only the person can change their thoughts and beliefs. And it's everything is within. And that's whatever it is associated with it has to change in order to make it better.
I think
Mo,
I'm hearing all kinds of voices. So
yeah, go ahead, Mo.
What's interesting is because I've had some experience with psychics, but it's what you said, Deborah, about the internal work. Like, I have multiple sclerosis. I'm 54 years old. I am not the poster child for either of those things because of the mental work I've done. And even just in the past 6 months, I've I talked about fear. And I mean, you wouldn't recognize me 5 years ago. I mean, but I still have these fears I'm dealing with, but those blocks, that's why I can feel it internally. I can feel it in my energy field. I can feel it in my spirit that fear is blocking. So what you're, in my experience with psychics, is you give the potential. If we let go of fear, if we lean into the things that our body is telling us, that our environment is telling us, then we open the pathway for those possibilities to come to fruition. But it takes work. And I'm not saying people here aren't doing any work. Of course you are. But that's, for me, has been the biggest thing, is just understanding how I play a part in all this. Because you're presenting possibilities, but ultimately we're the drivers. We're the ones that are. So I mean, I check
Exactly. Exactly. You are the driver. I'm the messenger. And like I said, anything in the future is a possibility. But it's you, like you said, are the driver. It's ultimately up to the person, whatever happens. And it's up to the person to make the changes in order to make things happen.
Yeah.
It's not me. I'm relaying what I get at the present time.
Yeah.
And I can assess something in September, but then it could change. And, now December, it could be totally different.
Yeah. And when my energy is clear, when I'm calm, when I'm receptive, miracles happen. You can feel like the click, click, click things happening in fruition. But when I'm locked in fear, overwhelmed, telling myself stories that don't serve my well-being, I block it all out. They're happening, but I'm not receiving. And so that is something I think I just wanted to share that, because that understanding, whenever it happened for me, has changed my life. And I know, and just the things you were saying, I know what I need to be open to now. And, but I'm so much more calm now. I'm so much more present now. I'm not waiting for someone else to come and save the day, which it's all in me. And that's
I agree with you, Mo, with all that. It's like your vibration, your energy. It's almost like, I know it sounds cliche about the law of attraction, law of attraction. Where it's almost like you're the driver, you're on the driver's seat. You start. You need to up level that energy instead of expecting something to happen to you. You have to initiate, even just by up leveling the energy with the gratitude and the you attract, like things happen, like you said, oh, it's a coincidence. It's not, because you're ready to receive.
Yes.
Sometimes we have to, like, when you increase that vibration, your energy and your belief, and just be peaceful with it instead of being anxious, thinking, I really want that. I hope it will happen, and what's going to happen, and all these worries. I think that's kind of compounding almost the feeling of unsatisfaction, and why is it not happening to me? Why is it happening to everybody else but not me? Kind of like having this almost like victim mentality, not on purpose, subconsciously.
No.
Right.
Here. And understanding what you actually have control over and what you don't. I went home at Thanksgiving, bless her heart. My sister's there. She's a very, very, some might say toxic personality, but my other sister was just like completely gobsmacked at how I didn't respond. Like every dig, every negative thing she said, I was like, okay. I didn't cower, but I also, what happened? But I just took it for what it was, nothing to do with me. And when you realize that sense of calm, what you actually have control over. I don't have control over how she feels or what she's going to say. Now, if she pushed, talked about my kids or something, it's a different story. But, I really focusing on what you have control over and putting your energy into that is going to take you leaps and bounds over worry and fear and the things beyond your control. So, and I've lived it, so I know it's true.
Even like opportunity will show up. You told me about your Thursday job that just kind of show up in a way, that's like gratitude right there.
Oh,
Like,
absolutely.
so like it may not be your ideal job. It may not be what you expected because you're looking at this other path with the group, but that is a blessing right there.
Mm.
It's
And
only
I
one.
was totally grateful for every single minute that I spent there.
Yeah,
Absolutely. Yeah.
exactly.
Mhm.
But then there could be other opportunity that opens up if you just kind of be in that the um the energy that's the emotion that the consciousness to be up leveling because I think when you're creating value and you're up leveling your energy, opportunity just kind of show up.
Mhm.
I'm not saying you're not looking. It's like you can't do the same thing expecting different result. I think that's what Deborah said, which is true.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
what are other things that you're passionate about that you want to do? Okay, that group thing, maybe it's not working, but what other things outside that you think you can do that you want? And what are some of the choices to pursue this other opportunity or other things that you think you want to lean into instead of just I'm not saying to throw away the whole group thing, but
Mhm.
to focus on what's new and different, because that thing's been going for a long time and it's not working. So what's something new that you want to look into, but to take action though, it's so important to take that action and start doing things, whether it's a skill set or um, you know, connecting with other people or whatever the action is. I don't know what it is that you're passionate about or want to lean into. Same thing with Kathleen. I think all of these, it's like this little step that doesn't seem like a lot, but that gratitude and be okay with where you are. I'm not okay meaning content, not do anything. I'm just saying because that sense of peace and acceptance kind of put you in that space um, with that vibration that's needed to attract this other thing that's coming into your life. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Mhm.
Hey,
Sure you are. You don't want to have any doubt. You've got to be absolutely knowing it's going to happen. It's no worries, it's no fears because that blocks it. Any kind of negative thinking is going to block that manifestation. So again, it goes back to how you feel, how you think, how you believe, and changing what is necessary in order to have that manifest. It's just a different way of thinking about things that it's important to do. It just can't be doing the same old thing and think the same old way. You've got to think in a new way and believe something different. Throw out what doesn't work.
yeah.
Like I said, doesn't work, doesn't help, isn't true, whatever's fearful, anything like that. Because that just will initially block things. And if you're back and forth, optimistic, negative, that's just, it's just not going to manifest that way. You know, it's
One
a
of
certain attitude that you have to have.
I adopted a mantra last year, and that's everything's always working out for me. And when you think about it, everything's always working out for me. So when things don't go right, or the way that I had hoped they would go, I say everything's always working out for me because there's things happening beyond my control that I can't see. And that allows me to let go and to move on and put my energy where I need to put it. And it's powerful. That's a powerful mantra. I highly recommend it.
Mm-hmm.
Everything
Mm-hmm.
out for me.
Mo, it's funny with your knife, when you're saying that, you're
Like, wait,
We're glad we're not right in front of you.
but it is this whole inside job is not easy to do because
takes
I
practice.
think this whole thing about acceptance and gratitude and because it's like even people with a lot of money, a lot of whatever it is in life, they said, oh, when this happened, I'm going to be happy, or and then there's the next thing, there's the next thing. I'm not saying you're at that point right now. Right now, you're just trying to be comfortable, to be you know, you're still at the steps where you're not there yet, but still, it's the feeling of almost acceptance and gratitude, and put you in that energy. And just, it's like this idea of all is well, even when you don't think that you're where you think you should be. But
I think also it's important to have affirmations like I am in the present tense, not I'm going to have. I have this money, or I have good health. I am healthy. The I am statements are important and powerful, and I would do that on a repetition basis as well. And also saying things in the present time instead of everything will be like in the future. You don't want to say, I'm going to have. You say, I have it now. Even though you don't, you just say, I have it now. So you create that for yourself. Because we create our reality with our thoughts and our beliefs. And it's very important to be aware of what you're thinking and what you're believing. And again, the inner work is hard. It's difficult and sometimes takes a while to change, but it's important to do in order to have something better in your life.
is any of these making sense, Kathleen, Edith, or?
Yes, definitely. Yeah. Thank you.
Okay. Kathleen?
Oh, yeah, I fully subscribe to all of those things, and I practice them, and I have for decades, and it's always worked well for me. And even now that I'm experiencing a flare up, I'm okay with it. Like, I have been here before. It's not my first rodeo, and I understand that the universe is just saying it's time to slow down right now. I've been going. And yeah, I'm grateful for every minute of my life. And I 100% agree with everything that you say. That you
Okay.
said.
Thank you. With that, we've Debra, you've been so generous with your time. It's 90 minutes now. So I think we're gonna close this out. Like, as I said before, next week come back again. And I think this reflection work that Lachelle is going to do is going to be so beneficial looking back, and the things that we've done, we've accomplished. Sometimes we take things for granted, things that, even little things that we don't feel like we have it, but really, if you think about it, if you just cup of coffee right here, a nice warm bed, things like that, just that we take for granted. Is that right, Mo? Seeing Mo, the things she's gone through as well. But anyway, yeah, so come back and spend the time with that reflection about the past and what we have learned and how we can move forward next year, not only with our envisioning our goals and thing in mind, but also what are the action items that we need to do to get there? How do we manifest? But Debra, this has been so wonderful. Thank you so much. I love this.
Thank
So
you. Thank you.
Thank you. Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Thank
So
you.
so have a great weekend. Happy holidays, and just
Thank you. Have a great weekend.
Yeah, Merry
Yes,
Christmas.
and happy
chill.
holidays.
Happy
Yeah.
holidays
Yes,
to
happy
everybody.
holidays.
Happy
Hope to see you guys
holidays.
next week. Bye-bye
Okay,
all.
bye.
Bye.
Take
Bye.
care.
Everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, Deborah.
Bye.
Thanks, everybody.
You're
Bye.
welcome.